And the scene is set at Chloe Brothers' apartment. And this is in the guest bedroom where Mortimer C. Fitzgerald is currently asleep. He is sleeping in, but he is in his own little world. He is in the dream realm. And as he is just normally dreaming, he hasn't reached the peak where his nightmares actually begin. But he, all of a sudden, through his dream, can hear the echo of a scream that sounds familiar to his new roommate, Chloe Brothers. And I am going to roll for him for his nightmares, and it is 7 dice, DC 7. Ooh. 1 success. And I don't think people can see it, but 1 success. I'll be honest, 1 success. There was a 1, there was a 10. I knocked out the 10. 7. So,
As long
1
as it's not
success.
a bot, then it should be good.
It is not a botch.
Right.
Go ahead and describe.
In that case, as soon as he hears Chloe, it's going to trigger the memory just for a brief second of what she said to do, and especially if that scream was coming from the waking world and they were in danger, then he hurriedly tries in his head to envision a door just like she said, and he focuses with all his might, just trying to focus on that single constant in the quagmire of sleep. And he can just barely make out a frame, and through it,
It is a simple door. It is just simple for right now. It doesn't even really have a doorknob. You know, like the pre-made doors where they don't have the doorknob yet, it's just the hole.
Yeah.
Since it's like the first night we're practicing this, it's just that normal door until you master it.
But in this case, right now, he's more concerned with it working rather than how awesome it looks. And so he's going to run as fast as he can through the dreamscape as the slower he shifts towards REM sleep, the harder it'll be for him to wake up, as he can almost feel the fog slowly trying to enshroud him. But he reaches the door, and with a lunge, he elbows through it, in which case he jerks awake.
Do you want me to roll again?
Oh, no, it's fine. If he succeeded on the roll, then it means that he's not affected by the nightmare. So he
Alright.
jolts awake. He hurriedly grabs the gun that was underneath his pillow and unsafeties it, just like he was shown by Chloe before.
Just so you know, you don't hear much screaming anymore, but you can hear her like whimpering. And you can tell she's in her room.
Jump out of bed, hurry through the door, make a very quick perception check, but since the dice pool is down for both of us right now, we'll just say that it doesn't matter because he runs up the stairs. Is the door to your room closed?
Yes, it's closed.
In that case, he's going to, even though he can barely remember his dream now, he's going to just sort of instinctively do the same elbow bash to it and then just point the gun into the room, just like trying to see like where the Giovanni thugs are, because that's the first thing his mind's going to jump to. And when he sees just Chloe just staring at him wide-eyed now that he's basically pointing a gun in her room and wide-eyed himself.
She's in her bed, she's sitting up, and she's in a bloody sweat, and thankfully it's not like any white sheets, it's black sheets, so you can't actually see the blood sweating onto her blankets. But she's sitting there and she's cradling her phone in her hand. And she's just kind of zooming out.
In that case, he's going to look around. It doesn't appear that there's any windows open. So he's going to just hurry over and go, Chloe, are you all right? Are you hurt? You're bleeding.
And she just kind of jumps at like the outside voice and just kind of looks at you, and her eyes are just those multicolored eyes. They're not like bright with excitement. They're like bright with like, oh my god. Like you just scared her out of like this. Oh my god. What? Oh shit. Uh she's kinda looking all over the place. Did you just break my door? And you'll if you
As
turn around you
after he
watch the cat
pointed
just
out,
run out of the door.
as he looks back and then just slowly like lowers the gun and puts it behind his back, hoping that she didn't notice, and say, I heard a scream and came as fast as I can.
She's
And
calming her breath is a little heavy, but she's trying to like calm herself down. Um uh it was just a it was just a dream, Morty.
as he's just sort of dead silent for a moment, and then very awkwardly looks back and says, I'm going to go fetch your cats. I'll be right back. Don't move.
No,
And
don't
then
worry
he'll
about
go
it.
into.
They're fine. They're probably need to run to their litter box. She looks at her phone
Uh,
and she sees that there's a message on there, and you just kind of see her do a sigh of relief, and she'll set it back down
as
onto the dresser.
since he was going to make an excuse to go run down and put the gun away, he's going to just as quietly as he can put the safety back on and just sort of stuff it into his back pocket, and then just sort of awkwardly sit down. Is there like a chair in the room?
Yes.
Right, then he'll just sort of sit down, making sure that he doesn't turn around so that she sees the gun. And then he'll just look at her for a minute and notice that she's under great mental stress right now, and he'll just.
She actually looks a little drunk still.
A drunk? Oh, in that case, he. Uh, since Dice Stream is down, we'll just say since he is a Toreador and he has decent, or not even decent, basic aspects, probably heightened senses, picks up like the barest hint of alcohol on your breath as you're panting.
DJ.
hmm So he will just say, well, it is just a dream. Just remember that.
Well, it is just a dream. I wish it was real because I beat the. Well, I at least got a hit on St. John.
Well, as he ponders for a minute, then why did you scream? Oh god, he didn't do anything to you in the dream, did he?
No. Well, he bit me in the dream. He was. I think he was gonna try to drain me. I think he was gonna try to Diablerize me. Um, but I got the hit on him. She's explaining the dream, and um, he was biting her in the neck and was trying to like drain her, like she was actually feeling herself being drained away. And she explains that as hard as she could, she freaking elbowed him into the windpipe, causing him to spit up all the blood that he just tried drinking from her. And she crawled with all the momentum she had for the door to bust through it. And the one thing she mostly focuses on is the Rake's smile that she actually saw through his mask. That she could actually see the smile. And I am so glad I didn't do anything. Because I would have given the Giovanni exactly what they wanted. I would have given them war. I would have given them a reason to declare war.
As he'll just take in all this information,
She hasn't even got to the
and
good part.
then
But continue.
he'll say that, and he really does like consider for a minute, but then after everything that Chloe has done for him, this is the least that he could do. As he will then say that when he was a kid, that's when he first started having nightmares. and that they would come off and on, but his mother and father didn't know exactly what to do because they made him scared to fall asleep. It was a very troublesome time, so they took him to a doctor, a psychologist, and he told him that dreams was a way of your self-conscious, your inner self trying to express something, trying to warn you about something, or trying to make you realize something about yourself. And that probably, oh, actually, crap, hold on a moment. Sorry about that. And that the that if you were to try exploring those dreams, then you might be able to not only discover what it was, but possibly end the torment that the dreams would bring. And he will say that that's actually one of the reasons why he started writing in the first place, was to explore some of the things that he saw when he fell asleep.
That's the thing, Morty. I saw it.
You saw it.
I saw the beast.
As you can tell, like, if his blood could go any colder, it just did when you said that.
And you can
As
see she's like on the verge of tears, and you can see she's shaking in her bed.
right, and in that moment, as they both look at each other, like, in this case, it would normally be a wits plus empathy roll, but since Dice Stream is down, we'll just say that they come to just this understanding. Mortimer knows exactly what you're talking about. As he will just say, I'm so sorry. That's something no one should have to face.
And in the dream, I took a life that resembled so much like my little sister.
As he will, and you will see that his demeanor changes as he'll say, don't listen to it.
No. She's still listening, but it's just like, no,
As he will just sort of look for the words, and then he'll finally decide on them and say, the beast wants what it can never have, and it will do everything in its power to take it from you.
Then I'm so glad I sent my sister away.
That is why, truly why, our condition is so dangerous. The curse, the beast, the enemy within. It's a part of us, but it is not. It is something, I don't know how to explain it, but do not let what it revealed, do not let what it tried to tell you, do not let it change you, do not let it torment you. That is what it wants. It wants you to be in a weakened state, so that way it will be able to take more of you for itself.
What does yours want?
As he has this very bitter laugh, and it almost looks like he doesn't say anything, but in a brief whisper he says, everything.
Calliope misses you, by the way.
I really do need to spend more time with my clansmates. It's just
No, that's actually where I came from. She checks the clock. Not that long ago, sadly.
hmm, as he looks. It's funny, I actually went out the other night looking for Calliope and Jacob, and I only found one of them. It it's funny. Sometimes you're able to find someone relatively easy in the city, and other times
What do you think about Jacob, Morty?
Jacob.
Yes.
He is he's a primogen of the Toreador, plain and simple. He he has the
She
appearance and demeanor of exactly what one would expect of a Toreador primogen.
What if I told you that he might be the reason why the whole Giovanni incident happened?
As he pauses for a minute and then looks at Chloe and says, I don't understand. It was Karl Voltaire who may have let them in uninvited.
The Toreador meeting. Were you there when he announced the Elysium?
The Nosferatu announced it at the Toreador meeting? I'm
No.
confused.
The Were you at the meeting, the Toreador meeting, where Jacob Crowley announced to you guys that about the Elysium?
But no, no, I was
No.
not.
Javier
Unfortunately,
Rojas was
I,
there.
as the gears start turning in Mortimer's head again as he begins to see where you're going with this. If he told Javier and he told the Giovanni, then that's why they would have went there that night.
He didn't specifically tell Javier so he can tell the Giovanni, Morty. He just openly talked about it. He didn't even think about what the consequences could be.
No,
If he
that's
had
not true.
actually thought before he spoke in front of Javier,
No, that's the thing. Jacob always thinks before he speaks, Chloe. That is the only thing I can truly say about this primitive. The only thing I can say for certain about what he does and how effective he is that he makes sure that every word that comes out of his mouth is said specifically for the right reason. There, it must have been a great moment of passion, or it was deliberate that he said anything.
I don't know. But he openly just said it in front of Javier. And Javier has close relations with the Giovanni, and I can confirm that.
Oh, Javier, Javier.
It's not
She
Javier's
calls him.
fault, though.
Oh, I know. He's like a Roman candle. A brilliant explosion, but very prone to light things on fire.
What do you think about Calliope?
She's someone that I'm proud to call a clanmate.
Could you see her leading you? Would you follow her?
I don't see why not. In a manner of speaking, she has had a more active hand these past nights, as far as I'm aware, than our primogen did. But that is the thing. You'll never know exactly what Jacob is doing.
Well, I just learned a great deal about dear Calliope. She has a
She
lot
is
of
something else, isn't it?
fiery passion.
She does.
I want you to
Yet
talk to Laird, and if he brings up the whole Toreador situation, Can you please listen?
That's my duty. I'm the Toreador Harpy.
I know, but not just as a Toreador Harpy, but as a Toreador yourself. I want you to think about it. Think about who should really be leading. Because she can't afford to make those kinds of mistakes with how close she is to the prince. With how close they are as friends.
As he does thinking that they are very close, it would be a natural fit to have her be the Toreador Primogen. She's already Keeper of Elysium, and she has a considerable uh, renown amongst pretty much all of the other Primogen already for her services and skills. I will give it some consideration, Chloe.
Okay. I'm sorry to switch subjects. It was one of it was she's trying to
It's all right.
think,
It's all
but
right.
there's still like a lot of alcohol in her system. She's like, we had a lot of fun.
As he will hazard moving a little bit closer and just sort of pat her on the back. A little awkward at first, but then more confidently.
By the way, I am deadly at beer pong. Or no, it's not beer pong. It's stencil brew pong.
I will ensure that the tale is spread far and wide, that none shall best Chloe Brothers at Stanso Beer Pong.
She kept up with me just fine. And now you're starting to see as she's becoming more awake, the alcohol, the vitae is starting to show a little bit more.
Maybe you should, well, maybe you should drink some regular Vitae to sort of flush your system. Do you have any Stanhope Brew on you?
Oh, when I went and talked to the prince, I got some incentive for you. Silk and satin,
That is a popular one of mine.
4 bottles, down in the
Oh,
fridge.
I'll bring one up. And
And we're getting reinforced shutters, so there's no more incidences.
yes, no more incidences. As he will turn and leave, and he'll actually forget for a split second, and then just sort of turn around again, hoping she didn't see the guy sticking out of his back pocket, then just walk to the door, and away.
You're a dork. I would have had it perfectly fine. I wouldn't have been screaming. I may be drunk, but people get a lot better when they're drunk. That's not how I wanted to say it.
As he's already just going down the stairs, puts the gun away, back underneath his pillow, hurries to the fridge, grabs one of the bottle of silk and satin, uh, thinks about getting a glass, but then thinks about her probably like spilling it all over her sheets, so he just brings the bottle up and one glass for himself, and then just sort of uncorks it and gives it to her. Like, here. What was it called?
Silk and satin.
That old term for drinking a little bit after. Oh no, that's a hangover. This is
A
some
Bloody
kind of
Mary?
that'll
He
work.
needs to make one called the Bloody Mary. I'm going to advise it to him that he makes one that helps with hangovers called a Bloody Mary. Remind me of that in the morning. Well, tomorrow night.
All right. Okay.
She'll take a sip and just be like, Whew. Oh, we also got Laird to drink. So now I just need to.
No, really? I've only seen him get drunk once, and well, I also
Well, he
got
wasn't
drunk.
really drunk.
And
He wasn't enjoying the bottle with us. He fed off of one of Calliope's girls.
hmm. As he stops at a particular story, since it ended with him accidentally drinking Vita that was laced with heroin, so he just says, well, I can barely remember what he's like drunk, but if memory serves me correctly, he has more fun.
He wasn't drunk. He was feeling better. He hadn't fed that night yet.
Hmm.
Thank you, Morty.
What was that? I couldn't hear you.
Thank you.
Oh, it, as he smiles and says, "It's it's the least I can do."
Um,
And just remember, you have the power to fight it. If you didn't, then it wouldn't be trying so hard to torment you.
so where's your fight?
It's every day, every single day. As he just sort of looks out the screen, the windows. I'm assuming like they're just like basically pitch black, so like the sun outside is just barely, it's like this sort of grayish, like hazy
No, it's just a
tinge
little
of
bit
light.
later in the night. It's like mid-afternoon,
Yeah,
night-ish.
so like through the tinted windows, like or the sunproof windows, it would just be like the sort of like gate or gray doldrumish like look right now. Oh yeah, so that's fitting for that. As he just sort of looks up, realizing this is the first time he's actually been awake during the day and realized just how much his body is fighting it and just trying to want to go back to sleep until the sun is set again.
Go back to sleep, Morty. I'm gonna try to.
All right.
Now I have to order a new door. Well, were you were you imagining a door? She's pointing to her now broken door.
As he just smiles at her and says, "You should get some rest now. We've got a
High
busy
five.
night ahead of us." With that, he will go back to his room and sink once more into the sleep of the damned, knowing that the beast awaits him, always raging, always torment. And that is where his seat or thing will end for this day.
Chloe will smile. Progress has been made. Yes.